Hey everybody, thanks for joining White Dog Outdoors. I'm back to my roots today. I'm back on the river where I grew up and I learned to fly fish. I'm on the West Canada Creek in central New York. It is summer, but this is a tailwater, so it runs a little cooler than a lot of the other bigger streams. And I'm pretty far up in that tailwater section. So I took the temperature, it was at 68 degrees. I did find a stream coming in that was 60 degrees, so that's helping to cool it down a little bit. As you can hear, there's thunder rumbling around. I actually drove through some crazy stuff to get here. Some of the worst storm I've ever driven through, complete whiteout condition.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
But I didn't break out the camera equipment right away when I got here because I was trying to beat the storms. I wanted to get fishing, get a little bit of time in, so I did do that. I got blown off the water by another good thunderstorm, which you guys will see. But kind of a late recorded intro, but let's get fishing. Hope you guys enjoy this week's video. Well, that didn't take long. Pretty, pretty, pretty. That's a bald eagle. Definitely a bald eagle. Huh. That was the second one. These are all stocked fish. This river doesn't really support natural reproduction. I'm just trying to find the right lanes here that are going to hold the fish and get it down to the right depth. There was a little cold creek coming in down there that was 60 degrees. And that's where I found the first one, is right outside of that. Definitely enjoying the colder water. This water is a little bit warmer than I want it to be. It's like 68 degrees. That is a little bit warmer than I'd like. I'm basically trying to land these fish quick, keep them in the water, and release them right away, so that I don't cause them any damage. I would prefer it to be below 67 degrees or so, but even though this is a tailwater, apparently it's still a little bit warmer than I'd like. Oop, that was a fish. Unless that's super, super shallow, because that barely had any time to get down. Oh, there's fish, that's for sure. It's just a matter of that one was down. So are we going to be able to hit these fish? That's a fish. That one feels a little bit, I was going to say a little bit nicer, but I don't actually think so. Let's bring him out of the current. None of these fish are huge. There are some nice ones in here, but not today so far anyway. Pretty, but not huge. Wait a second. That looks like a smallmouth. No, okay. Freaked me out for a second. All right, buddy, relax. I think it's a pheasant tail. All right, buddy. Oh, that's the warrior. Rainbow warrior. All right, let's get you out of here. Nice barbless hooks. Third brownie of the day. See you, buddy. So I've done my share of Euro nymphing videos. I'll link in the description a lot of the Euro nymphing videos that I've done. I did several last year, done several this year. Last year I talked a little bit more about how to do Euro nymphing. This year I've just been kind of doing a little bit of fishing, but I'll just talk a little bit about, you know, my setup for these and how I do this. So the idea is you're using really heavy flies. I've got tungsten beads on these guys. I've got lead wrapped into them. And we're trying to go, the water on the bottom is going to go slower than the water on the top. There's a cushion of water on the bottom that goes slower because of the friction on the bottom due to the rocks and everything like that. And so the water on the top is going to go much faster. So what we're going to try to do is we're trying to keep these nymphs as low and slow as possible, because those fish are going to be on the bottom on the slowest current possible. All right, so we're using really heavy flies. We're using a Euro nymphing rod. This is the Sage ESN 10.5 foot 3-weight. These Euro nymphing rods, if you don't have one, you can use a regular rod, but Euro nymphing rods are specifically designed, and I really, really like them. They have a strong backbone, but they have a really kind of whippy tip. The tip is going to absorb a lot of the pressure from fish. It's going to protect tippet a lot because you're going to be using, you know, probably at heaviest 4x tippet down to 6x, 7x sometimes. But that soft tip is going to protect the tippet and allow you to fight the fish. The strong backbone of the rod is going to allow you to put a lot of pressure on that fish and give you the power to be able to fight that fish. So the Euro nymphing rods are definitely worthwhile in my opinion. All right, I would go with a reel that has a good drag system. I haven't needed it today, but I certainly have needed it in a lot of cases. You want a nice smooth drag to get one of these fish that's a little bit bigger. Euro nymphing will dredge up heavy fish. It is not just a small fish technique, it is a every fish technique. Plenty of large fish. In fact, some of my biggest fish have come on Euro nymphing. So the other part about these Euro nymphing rods is that they're a little bit longer. This is a 10.5 foot. My other Euro nymphing rod is an 11 foot. Those are going to allow you to have a better reach for stuff like this, where you want to be able to reach as far as you can sometimes without having a lot of line on the water. So in order to achieve that slow dead drift as much as possible, you want to keep a vertical line for as much as possible. And I'm reaching out quite a bit further here, and you probably can't even see my leader because it's really hard to see in these particular conditions. But that reach and that vertical presentation of your line going into the water is going to keep those flies on the bottom and not allow them to come up in the current, because the fish are going to most likely be hanging along the bottom. So in Euro nymphing, the leader I think is extremely important. They have pre-tied leaders. I like to tie my own so that I can do specifically exactly what I want with it. I can make it the length that I want. I can taper it the way I want. But the big part about this leader is really the sighting material. And unfortunately, I need to replace my sighting material because it's gotten faded from the sunlight over the years here. But that's what's going to give us an indication of what happens with those fish. So we're going to be keeping a tight line, and we're going to be feeling those fish, or we're going to be watching the sighter for any kind of jump, pause, straightening, anything like that. These conditions are tough. I got a lot of backlight on the water, hard for me to actually see the leader or the sighter material. I would definitely use some polarized sunglasses is really going to help the colors of that leader pop. Helps a lot actually, and I'm wearing those sunglasses right now and I'm still having trouble. And right now I'm actually, that's bumping along the bottom. I can feel it bumping along the bottom the whole way, so I know exactly where my fly is, where my flies are. I'm feeling it the whole way along the bottom, and if I feel anything different or I see anything different, I'm going to set the hook right away. I probably shouldn't be in the water right now. Ay, ay, ay. Oh man, I would love to catch some fish without getting driven out of here. Oh boy. Which way are you going? Oh, I'm gonna get hit. Frick. That is coming my way.
So this is what just blew through here. That was fun. Take a little duck and cover. I stayed out as long as I could because it was kind of fun, but anyway, it looks like it's cleared. I may continue on and go to another spot and see if we can find some more fish.
So I decided to move spots. I'm actually just upstream from the place where I caught my first big brown trout, a 17-inch brown trout. I can still see it coming up for my big March brown in June, and very memorable fish, very memorable area for me. I haven't been back to this stretch of river in a really long time, probably 10 years or more. So I think we're going to finish up on this stretch today, and hopefully we're done with the thunderstorms. It is steamy now with all that rain and the heat. Ugh. But this water looks great, lots of pocket water, and it goes down into a nice pool down below. Anyway, we're going to hit this last stretch of river. We'll probably wrap the video here, but we got a couple hours before dark, so hopefully we can find some more fish. So unfortunately I did not have that. Ooh, get in there. I can't reach you. I think we're going to wrap this one here. I've had some fun. I spent a few hours on the river, dodged a few storms. I guess I didn't really dodge them. I got hit by them, but even so, it was a lot of fun. But I ended up with 5 brown trout, 4 in the first spot in a riffle type area, and then 1 out of the pocket water in this particular area. But I got probably 45 minutes of daylight left, but I think I'm going to call it quits here. Had a good day, had some fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you like what we're doing, definitely subscribe, give us a thumbs up. and we'll see you guys for our next adventure.